have to generalize. Just walking down the street. I mean, even here, I can nod to someone on the street.
Excited about our wedding? No.
It's even worse though. Washington like if you're just going to some, I mean, if you go to some small town south, everyone will have like 40 new friends.
Claudia's five is coming. New A is not coming, so he's coming for the no percent for them. So yes, it'll be a huge, you know. Yeah, we'll see. Of course, we want it to happen here, but for Spain, to be honest, the group, what do you call it? The first leg or whatever you call that. Because in Mexico, I was there when we won the World Cup. It's like being home. I mean, they were there with Spain. I mean, there were celebrations, and you know, they're very, I don't know how much you know, they're very funny. And they would say, oh, they were independent, you know, if you hadn't freedom, you would now be world champions with Mexico. Yeah. So yeah, but for Mexico, for Spain, it would be playing in Mexico would be like playing home. Honestly, really. I mean,
a lot of people are assessing that. It's going to be interesting how the Chicago is going to dictate
yeah. I mean, we as an embassy, we'd love to see here.
DC is very well the they're trying to host.
Yeah.
Hosting a team that was
address the Republican healthcare crisis and fix our broken healthcare system. And what's immediately in front of us right now is the need to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. We just need a handful of Republicans in the House to join us, and we can force an up or down vote on the floor to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and stand up for working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans who are at risk of having their health care ripped away from them. Leader Schumer.
Thank you. And yes, as Hakeem said, we had a great discussion on our Democratic agenda, focusing on the number one issue facing the American people, the high costs of the things they care most about and need the most, especially health care. Health care costs, we know, are going through the roof. It's just astounding that people would pay $500 or $1,000 more a month for their health care. What are they going to do? Come January 1st, millions won't have doctors. Tens of millions will lose their doctors and have to go to a new one who might not be nearby, who might not understand the ailment their child has. It's just incredible. And why is this happening? Republican intransigence. Democrats are united on fighting to lower health care costs. Republicans are a mess. They can't come to an agreement on a bill. They can't come to an agreement on a solution. Many of them don't want any solution at all. Well, next week, Republican senators will have an opportunity to show the American people they want to lower their health care costs, or they will spurn the American people's desire to lower those health care costs by not supporting Democratic legislation. They are in a bubble. From Donald Trump on down, Donald Trump said there's no affordability crisis. What kind of world is he living in? He's a billionaire. He doesn't have to worry about paying his medical bills, his heating bills, his food bills. But as president, you'd think he'd have some understanding of how the vast majority of Americans live every week, struggling. How are they going to pay this bill? How are they going to pay that bill? What am I going to cut off? But they're in this bubble. They don't get it. Well, Democrats know our job is to fight for the American people and to lower their costs. Republicans have no unity. So Democrats are fighting to lower health care costs. Republicans are fighting with one another.
Questions?
Thank you. Actually, this is directed to you, Leader Schumer. Do you plan to introduce a proposal for a clean 3-year extension similar to the discharge petition that the leader put forth ahead of next week's vote? And second...
Well, let me answer the first one in 2 words. Stay tuned. Second question.
Okay, but you're united, right? So
we are united. We are united.
Okay. Second question...
We are not united within the entire Senate caucus.
Okay. Second question. I'm just curious if either of you have seen this new DoD IG report. I know it hasn't been made public yet, but there are some details that have come out suggesting that the Secretary may have jeopardized sensitive military information in that Signal group chat. Just want your reaction.
I haven't seen it yet. It's only available right now, a classified version, to the members of the Intelligence Committee, but I await its release publicly tomorrow.
Yeah, I have not seen the report. Pete Hegseth is the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in American history. The sooner he's gone, the better off the American people.
Peter Jeffries, do you support President Trump's pardoning of Henry Cuellar, and have you spoken to him to Cuellar today, and do you believe that he will stay loyal to the caucus?
I issued a statement on this earlier. My statement speaks for itself. I look forward to talking to Henry when we go on the floor in just about an hour.
Here we go.
If Democrats are united on this health care issue, why are you not stating your plan at this point? Are you hoping for a bipartisan agreement to come together, or what is the reason to not?
Look, the Republican senators have an opportunity to show they're on the side of the American people, and next Tuesday's or next week's vote, we don't know what day yet, next week's vote will show whose side they're on. Are they on the side of the billionaires? Are they on the side of Donald Trump, who says He doesn't even know what affordability means, and is it a crisis or on the other side of the American people? We'll see.
When are you going to tell us what you are voting on?
Stay tuned.
Yeah, this is not that complicated. What we've seen, right, House Democrats and Senate Democrats in complete alignment in defending the health care of the American people from the very beginning. Every single House Democrat, every single Senate Democrat opposing the one big ugly bill. Why? Because it enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. It literally ripped insurance away from about 14 million people all across the country, including in rural America. At the same time, Democrats standing united against the one big ugly bill. Why? Because it set in motion hospitals, nursing homes, community-based health centers closing all across the country. We oppose the cuts to the Centers for Disease Control. Together, we oppose the cuts to the National Institute of Health. We oppose their effort to take away vaccines from the children of America, and now you see people getting sick all across this country, including in South Carolina, where kids actually couldn't even go to school, apparently, for weeks because of the Republican health care crisis. And we're standing together in fighting to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Thank you. Leader Schumer said that Republicans will have a chance to support some piece of legislation next week. But Speaker Johnson reportedly told President Trump to pull back his plan that he reportedly plans to put forward. So even if something happens in the Senate next week, how are you thinking about what's happening over on your side of the Capitol in terms of, Speaker Johnson not supporting any type of conversation around extending these tax credits at this point?
Well, Mike Johnson has consistently made his position clear. He's got zero interest in protecting the health care of the American people. And these folks over on the House side, these Republicans, they've tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act more than 70 different times. We know who they are. They've shown the American people this consistently. And the American people know that Democrats in the House and Senate are actually fighting to make their life better, fighting to lower the high cost of living, fighting to address the Republican health care crisis and fix our broken health care system. In terms of movement in the House, all 214 House Democrats have signed the discharge petition that will force an up or down vote. All we need are 4 House Republicans to join us. There are 219 of them. All we need are 4. Dozens have said that they were prepared to work with Democrats to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits in the aftermath of the Trump Republican shutdown ending. The Trump Republican shutdown's over. And now we've got a vehicle here in the House. All we need are 4 Republicans to join us, and we can prevent tens of millions of people from having dramatically increased health insurance costs. In some cases, $1,000 or $2,000 per month in terms of the increases that everyday Americans will be forced to endure. That's unacceptable, particularly in the wealthiest country in the history of the world.
I would say this, the petition, the discharge petition in the House and the vote next week in the Senate are going to be one of the most important moments in this whole Congress. Since 1993, there's been a fight between the two parties, since Hillary Clinton proposed a health care proposal back then. And that is, who is going to lower your costs? Who is going to make health care more affordable? Who is on your side when all the special interests aren't? That's what's happened throughout. And this is an important moment. Will Republican senators join us to lower costs? Will a handful of House members join the discharge petition? It's in their hands. It's in their hands, and the American people know it. Thank you.
If Democrats are united behind the plan, does that mean that negotiations with Senate Republicans on a bipartisan proposal are over?
Look, we're willing to negotiate with anyone who will really lower health care costs. So far, they're so flummoxed, they're not even able to negotiate among themselves. That would be the first step, wouldn't it?
Last question.
Is December the end of this fight, or could these credits be extended in January? I understand it's probably more complicated, but is it possible with this effort?
Listen, we're in this fight until we win this fight on behalf of the American people. That means extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits, and the clock is ticking. We need to do this prior to December 31st. There's no reason not to. These Republicans raced in the middle of this year to enact massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors. They raced back to Congress here in the House of Representatives on July 3rd in order to pass their one big ugly bill and to make those massive tax breaks for their donors permanent. And yet they've shown zero urgency when it comes to protecting the health care of the American people. And we're going to continue to fight this battle until we're successful. And hopefully, just a handful of Republicans in the House and in the Senate will join us so we can get this done before the end of the year.
You're going to hear about the high costs that Americans have to pay for so many important things, especially health care, over and over and over again throughout this next month and all of next year. It's the number one issue facing the American people. It's the number one thing they want their elected officials to help them with. It's the number one thing that Republicans are stonewalling.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
George.
You don't need to sign anymore, will you?